Hodgson, the founder and CEO of Free Trade Europa, a think tank focused on European policy. The EU summit will continue today. You're on the continent, I know not part of the European Union, but what is the sentiment on the continent at the moment? Are they as fed up with Brexit as we are here?
100%. Yes, it's one of those things that drags on month after month, year after year. And there really is a incoming fatigue here that really just to get something done. The patience of the European Commission, but also French and German leaders, but also traditional allies. The Swedes, Dutch, Danes are also running out of patience and are really sick of the back teeth of Brexit and the ongoing discussion.
I must say, you mentioned the leaders, the most important leaders at the moment, I would say, of course, are German Chancellor Angela Merkel, French President Emmanuel Macron, and, of course, Leo Varadkar, purely because the island of Ireland is the sticking point. But there are some suggestions that maybe even the French President would veto an extension. Do you think that is likely, that it wouldn't be Boris Johnson not asking for the extension, that the EU may just put their hands and say, this is as far as we've come?
Yeah, and I think that in private there's a lot of exasperation and those kind of feelings. The reality is that the European Commission and also other European member states would not be seen to be the ones pushing the UK out of the door. They want to basically say that we've done everything that we can. We're facilitating this process, we understand it, and basically give Boris Johnson and the UK enough rope to hang themselves with. There will never be a case whereby they will be seen to have blood on their hands and be the ones who have pushed the UK out of the European Union.
Of course, I think Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, he's saying if there isn't a deal, it's a failure of statesmanship, and he's trying to drag everybody in with him. Let me ask you very lastly, Glenn, what do the Europeans think of Boris Johnson? Because, of course, he's decidedly different from Theresa May. He has said from the beginning his mandate was to leave on the 31st, do or die. Do they respect that?
I think there's a certain element of ghoulish respect for Boris Johnson, that he actually says something and seems to want to push it through, which has been, all the flip-flopping for sort of months and years beforehand. I think to at least have something to aim for is kind of refreshing. Boris Johnson is such a chameleon in terms of, what he wants. First of all, this sort of new liberal coming to some hardline Brexiteer. So people don't really know where they have him, but I think the reality is that they'd like to have something done now, and also a quirkish charm that love him or hate him, you cannot play down the fact that he has a certain charisma about him.
A certain charisma and potentially the toughest job on the planet at the moment. Glenn Hodgson, the CEO of Free Trade Europa, a think tank, thank you very much for joining us on Channel's Business Global.